Hello and welcome. I'm so excited that you purchased this Valentine's look bundle. It's going to be so much fun. You're going to learn so many things, and I'm going to walk you through the steps step by step so you don't have to worry about anything. All right, so for this tutorial, you will need this 6-well palette or any color variations of these. We're going to get so many looks out of these, y'all. I'm going to show you 3. But you honestly can do so many different things with this palette, especially with the colors. And if you have a basic color or a basic palette with a good black, a brown neutral, or something like that, you can totally build everyday looks off of this one particular palette. But it is so pretty. And I'm going to put the numbers on there so you make sure you know what they are, but these are all by Limelight by Alcone. All right, so let's get started. First of all, I'm going to prep my skin. I've already moisturized outside, or not outside, but before this video. But I love to put on a good eye cream, especially when I want to get like super hydrated with these beautiful looks. So what I'm doing now is just tapping that I believe, which lays beautifully underneath any type of foundation, concealer. It's really going to plump that area up, make it nice and juicy, make you look awake, and also treat as you have makeup underneath. So this is good for using morning and night. I'm going to go ahead and do my primer spray, which has vitamins in it. It's going to help your foundation lay better, and it really truly just gives a smooth surface and helps the makeup attract and stay on longer when it's used with the setting spray. So what I do is I shake it up for a bit and then spray it on all over. Now I just go like this, but you can do the cross method. However you want to spray your face, but it feels good. Set the intention for what you're doing the makeup for. Are you going out? Are you just having fun? What does it look like? But definitely make sure you take the time to set intention for what you're doing. All right, let's get into it. So I've already done my brows, and now what you're going to do is apply your concealer to your eyelids. This tutorial is meant for you to do it along with me. So make sure you have your palette out. If you have the perfect foundation palette, you can go along with that, or any concealer that you typically use. You want to make sure that the concealer is nice and smooth on the lid because it's going to give you a nice one shade look for your entire eyelid. Right here, I'm just kind of smoothing it out in the middle. I love this buffer brush from Limelight by Alcone. It is number 5 brush that I'm using to smooth out the concealer, and you'll see me use it periodically through the different tutorials. Now what I'm doing is I am using brush number 7 on one side and dipped it in the translucent powder, and I'm just putting that over the eyelid. This is going to set that concealer. I'm coming in a little bit closer so you can see, and you want to put the translucent powder all over the entire lid. This is going to again set the concealer and also make sure that it's a smooth application that your shadows are staying put. Now using that same brush, number 7, I am dipping it into that eyeshadow color, the pink one. And what that's going to do, that's number 11. You're going to windshield wiper that right there in the crease of your eye. I like to look down when I'm doing this and using the tip of it. And you can always tell where the crease of your eye is if you feel where your brow bone is, where your eyeball meets, right there in that little socket. So you're going to take a concentrated area, and remember, wherever you put your brush first is where you're going to get the most pigment. So you're going to take that on there, and you're going to windshield wiper that back and forth until you get the desired pigment that you want. Remember, it's always best to add more versus taking it away. So just put a little bit on and just practice. This is all about practicing, y'all. So if you don't get it perfect the first time, it's okay. I'm doing the same thing to the other side. Notice where I put it first, right there by my brow bone on the outer corner of my eye. And then you're just windshield wipering it back and forth. This is going to be a side-by-side motion, not really a circular motion. As you can see, you're just kind of going back and forth in the crease of the eye. You see, I'm just adding a little bit more. You can always add more. Don't be afraid to add just a little and build. Here I am lifting the eye, so you can see how I'm taking that windshield wiper and sweeping it right there, lifting my eye up. It creates the most beautiful uplifted look with your eyeshadow, and it's a tip that I learned from the pros. So just make sure that you are windshield wiper and then just carrying it up. We're going to take care of that when we apply our foundation and concealer. So don't worry about if you have anything on the sides. We can always fix that later. Just making sure everything is good. Again, I'm adding a little bit more color. I'm looking at the mirror in front of me and I can see, you know what? I want to add a little bit more pigment to this area because this is going to be our transition color. So it's not going to really show, but it really helps with the colors. Now I'm using brush number 8 and I'm dipping it in color 43. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that deep color on the corner. Notice how I stamp that on and I'm using circular motions at this point. Right there in the corner, and you just concentrate that deeper color because it's giving you that depth to your eye that I always think is so fire. Then again, taking that brush number 7 and you're going to do in circular motions. All you're doing right now is blending. Blend, 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 honey, till you can't blend anymore. You can never blend too much unless it's away. So don't blend too much. But this is what I want you to do right now. Practice that. The smaller the brush, that is how concentrated the area is when you put the shadow in. Does that make sense? So if you want to get a smaller area, depending on your eye, I know I used to have like a big brush trying to do this and it would get all over the place and it never looked right. So if you put it right there in that corner of the eye and then use that brush number 7 that we used earlier to windshield wiper, then just blend those colors together until you get the depth that you want. Remember, you can always add. You see, I'm adding more. That is the key to eyeshadow. Start off small or lighter and then build as you go. So here again, I'm just blending that color onto the eye and making sure it looks exactly the way that I want it to do it. You can go back and forth from eye to eye just so you can make sure that both sides look the same. So make sure that you are using that brush and blending. Again, lifting that shadow up around the eye, and I'm looking in the mirror to make sure that it looks the way I want it to look. So check your look right now and make sure it's where you want it to be. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to grab color number 17, and this color is going to go right on my lids. So you tap it on in the shadow, then tap the excess off, and then you're going to stamp that color right on the lid of the eye. This is going to help keep the color in a concentrated area, but see how small that brush is? Again, the size of the brush matters. So make sure you use a small enough brush so that you can get the concentrated color right there on the top of your eyeball, not the crease, but right there on the top of your eyeball, if that makes sense. It should though. And I'm using brush number 20 for this because it's a smaller eyeshadow brush. So that color, y'all, this color is so pretty. And you can use it so many ways. Think about even doing this as an eyeliner, okay? Like it would be fire as an eyeliner. So again, just taking that color, using that smaller brush and applying the eyeshadow right on top of my eye. It looks beautiful just like that, but we're gonna add just a little bit of to this Valentine's look because hello honey, it's Valentine's Day. And so you want to this could be a look by itself. This is actually what a 4 look type tutorial, right? Because you could do it just like this. But now I'm going in with the color number, have I done that yet? Hold on before I say that. Nope, look, I'm about to blend. Again, taking that same brush, blending, y'all, blending, making sure that those colors melt beautifully together and there's no harsh lines. The key to eyeshadow is blending and making sure there's no harsh lines, all right? So using the other side of the brush, now I am dipping into 22. Okay, so this is going to be like a shimmer. I'm putting it over this beautiful fuchsia because I want it to almost like peek through, but not be like all shimmer, if that makes sense. So it gives this beautiful luminescent look to it that I love. So you just apply a light layer right over that fuchsia eyeshadow. And again, it's just giving more dimension to this look. Can you believe that we have already used 4 different colors? I remember when I first started doing makeup, 4 different eyeshadows scared the bejesus out of me, okay? So this is something that you can totally achieve, y'all. So you're going to take that and now you're just blending it and making sure that it is exactly where you want it to be. If you want a little bit more foil, go ahead like I did. I'm like, you know what? I want a little bit more. So you just apply another layer. And these are sheer, that 22 is a sheer color. So you can make sure you add it on top and it won't be too much and overpowering, but that fuchsia will just pop right underneath. Now I'm using the Perfect Eyeliner pen. And I am going to do a winged liner. The key to this too is looking down. You see how I have that mirror and it's slightly below my nose? That is going to help you when it comes to liners, eyeshadows, applying eyelashes, any of those things. So make sure you have a mirror. And I also like this pen because it's not messy. It's not super wet and it's easy to control. So here I am drawing my wing, and I like to do both sides and put like that little line on the side. And I use the bottom, like if you look at your eyeball and you look at the bottom of your eye, and I just go up on that area from the bottom of my eye up to an angle. Practice this though. I'm still practicing this. I feel like I've gotten a lot better. Trust me. You should have seen me back in the day, but it is going to take you a little bit more time to practice, but it's okay, y'all. You can have so much fun with makeup. So here I'm just filling in the side triangle when I drew the line from that particular wing all the way to my eyeliner. Now you see how you can see 2 lines. I wonder if you can really see that on camera. It's okay because we're going to clean that up, and I'm going to show you how to clean that up with your concealer. So just repeating the same thing on the other side with the liner and filling in that extra space. And again, I'm just adding, add. Don't be afraid to add, okay? So now you've got this beautiful, beautiful line, winged line, and now we are going to apply my lashes. This is the bonus part of the video. I'm using Glam Girl lashes, and I like to apply them with this lash applicator, but you could totally do it with tweezers or even your hand. All right, so again, applying the glue straight to the lash band. Okay, and what you're going to do, the key to lashes is to allow it to get sticky. So don't put the glue on and immediately put the eyelash on. Let it sit for a while. Make sure you have a nice thin coat on the lash band. And then you're going to let that sit for about 2 minutes or so while you apply the other side of the other lash with glue. But then what you're going to do is you're going to apply the lashes straight to your eye. Again, just waving it to make sure it gets sticky or tacky. That is the key to lashes, making sure it is sticky or tacky. Looking down, you see, I noticed I put my mirror below my chin for this. Looking down is the easiest way. And you apply it to the middle, allow that to set. Then I go into the end, and then I go into the inner corner. Clamping down once I get it to where I want it to be. Again, you can totally use a tweezer or your fingers if you don't have this tool at home. And voila! Again, just adjusting. We're going to do the same thing. Now, remember, while we're applying that lash, this one is already getting tacky, right? Looking down, mirror below your chin. Stick it in the middle where you want it to go. Then on this side, I'm doing the inner corner first. You can do whatever your preference is, then going to the outer corner. Lashes matter. The bands matter. I like Glam Girl lashes because the band is thick, but it's not super thick where it's not able to adjust to my eye. It's easy to move around. So play around with different lashes. I'm going to do a lash tutorial as well, like how to pick lashes out at like a corner store, not a corner store, like a CVS or a Walgreens, or you could totally order yours online. So just making sure they're exactly where I want them to be, clamping down, when I'm clamping, I'm just making sure my natural lashes are folding easily in with my strip lashes. Just adjusting a little bit, and then you'll be ready to go. They're in a good place. All right. So let's get into the complexion, honey. Again, going back to my complexion palette and applying my foundation with a nice fluffy brush. In this video, I am using brush number 18. So this is a good brush because it's not too big, it's not too small, and it definitely applies the foundation in a nice smooth way. I already put my primer on, and I've already put on my glow drops and my due date. Definitely always start off with primer, glow drops, and due date. So as I was doing my shadow, those ingredients and products were sitting on my skin, prepping it for this foundation. So I'm applying the foundation all over the face. Again, just dipping it into my foundation palette and applying it. You can build coverage with this particular foundation. It is a wax-based foundation with Lime Life. I adore it. It doesn't oxidize. It looks beautiful on all skin tones. And it really, really, really just presents itself like natural skin, which is my favorite. Now I'm going in with a concealer. You're going to use, on this one, I'm using brush number 6. So on this one here, I'm applying it to the inner corner. And remember when I told you I would show you how to clean that up? That is how you clean up a wing liner or anything on the outside of your eye. Use the concealer and the brush. It's like a magic eraser without erasing it, okay? So just making sure that that wing line is super, super sharp, and that is how you can do it with the brush and the concealer. So just getting that really nice in there, applying that concealer to the inner corner of my eye and the outer corner of my eye. And then now what I'm going to do is blend those two together. Again, grabbing that brush number 5 and blending it out. And then you're going to see me use a foundation brush. A foundation brush you can use for foundation, yes. But brush number 4, y'all, is so good for your concealer. Like, it's something, it mimics a finger to me. So you can you can place that concealer nicely underneath the eye so that it looks beautifully seamless and it is all blended together. So again, just using that brush right there. But you see how we cleaned up that wing? Fire! So good. All right, again, I grabbed the foundation brush and I'm just tapping that right underneath the eye to blend that concealer in nice and smooth. This foundation and concealer melts. I don't want to say melts, but it does melt. It doesn't ever get in your skin, so you're not going to have to worry about it clogging your pores. But what it does is it warms to the skin so it moves beautifully, and that's why it mimics skin so perfectly. So again, going in and just tapping that concealer right underneath the eye and blending. You can always add more, just like anything else, but I'm just making sure that it looks really, really good. Next, what I'm going to do is take that concealer, and this is the other part, the bonus part of the training. I am going under my nose, on my nose with the concealer, same concealer I use under my eye, right on the Cupid's bow of my lip, on my chin right in the middle, and you saw I put a little bit in between my eyebrows. Now I'm going to use my lipstick to contour. This is lipstick number 113, which is my new favorite way. If you like cream contours, this is going to be your jam. So just placing that concealer right there. Not concealer, I'm sorry, the lipstick. Now, I will do another tutorial on how to contour and what the purpose of contouring is, but this video is just to show you the placement so that you can keep practicing, and then I will be releasing another video on how to contour and what's the purpose of contouring. Taking that same brush that I applied the foundation with, brush number 18, and you're going to blend the darker spots or the darker contour out first. I am blending up, not down, because it can get muddy if you start going down. So these are going to be circular motions, like little bitty stipple motions going upward on the face because you're using it to lift your face. Again, you notice I'm not windshield wiper in this, y'all, right? Like right there in that area. Of course, on the jawline, you want that nice chiseled jawline, honey. And this also blends it in with your neck, right? So just depending on what your skin tone is and what it looks like, I can totally help you color match if you need help in that area as well. So now I'm blending out that concealer down my nose, down around my chin, just making sure it looks all blended together on the face with this beautiful complexion palette, and also making sure there's no harsh lines with the contour color either. Double checking, making sure it's good. I'm checking the concealer. I want you to do the same thing. You're not going to get it right the first time. Go back, look to see what it looks like. Make some changes and adjustments if you need to. All right, so now what I'm going to do is take my my blush brush number 3, taking my translucent powder, and you're going to see where I changed something on this one now. You can use the translucent powder. We use that on our eyes, right, at the beginning. Now I'm setting the concealer right underneath my eyes. But as I was doing this look, I was like, you know what? I want to see what this would look like. So you're going to see me change. So you can use translucent powder if you want to. But then I go in with my HD powder in 7 and it sets it off. Okay, so HD powder is a colored powder. It literally blends. It's like a filter in a pan. It does have pigment, but it's not as much pigment as the concealer or the foundation. So depending on what look you're going for, you could totally add an HD powder to your look. I love number 7 for underneath my eyes. And again, I'm putting it right over all the areas that has the concealer. Now on this part, I'm putting it on the side because again, it's not super opaque, so it does have some sheerness to it, but it gives a beautiful color. Now we're going to go in and mix those two blushes together. We're going to mix Slam and Keen, which are the name of those blushes, and we're just putting them together. I'm just mixing them, and you can put that right on the cheeks. I'm smiling so that you can get the concentrated blush on your cheeks, okay? So make sure you put it on your cheeks and then you lift it again. What are we always doing, or we're trying to do? Lift our faces up, okay? So make that brush, move the brush up your face, so that those blushes are blended beautifully and not too harsh. And if you ever put too much blush on, don't worry. Go back in that same brush that you use for the foundation and apply it right over that, and you'll notice that it blends seamlessly into your skin. Oh, that blush looks so, so good, okay? All right, so now what we're going to do, because you got to have a highlighter, right? Applying my highlighter. On this one, on this particular video, or on this look, I'm using the pink highlighter. So I grabbed brush number 19 and using that right there. So if you look, and I'll do another tutorial on this, but if you look, you want it to always be on your cheek. If you turn it to the side, you want it to be your bronzer, your blush, and then your highlighter at the top. So you can see that perfectly right here, right? You see bronzer at the bottom, blush in the middle, highlighter at the top, okay? So, but you want that to all blend together. And I love this highlighter and using that blush because, this brush, because you don't have to use a lot. So you can kind of play around with it, add, take away, however or whatever look you want to go for. But I love how beautiful those highlighters look. Like that palette, y'all, will last you, I don't want to say a lifetime, but legit a lifetime. It is so pretty. Now I'm taking that gold and putting it right underneath the brow bone just to highlight that brow right there. But this is, again, another way. You could even put the gold on the corners of your eyes. There's so many ways to use that highlighter palette. Like it's endless, honestly. And you can use it for so many different looks. For a glam look, for a chill look, if you want to just, however you want to look, okay? But just make sure that you are blending. Again, I grabbed that same brush that I've been using to blend. Just take it up there so it's not too many harsh lines. Again, blend. All right, y'all, we're getting into the lips, honey. I am using grape liner. And this is a part of the going out bundle, or not this liner, but the lip that we're going to use for this look today. So this is grape liner. I like to leave the bottom half of my lip out. As you can see, that's just my thing that I love to do. It looks like, gives you a more powderier look in my opinion. And then I'm going to go in with Ruby Chocolate. So Ruby Chocolate is a beautiful like pink hue. It sold out like in an hours when it first launched. It was really, really a big hit, and it still is because it looks beautiful on all skin tones. I love to use it with grape liner and cocoa liner are my favorite liners to use this with. So again, going in and just applying a little bit more of that ruby chocolate to the color or to the look, and it looks absolutely fabulous. And I wanted to go for a glossier look too. You can leave it matte because the Enduring Lip colors are a matte color or a matte finish. But of course, I wanted to gloss it out. So you're going to see me apply gloss and the color Peace, which is a pink hue. Again, you could use this with grape by itself or apply it over any of your Enduring Lip colors. So just applying that beautiful piece right in the middle of my lips to give it a beautiful glossy look. And y'all, that is it. I cannot wait to see your pictures. They're going to be so beautiful. Like I said, you just keep practicing and you will get this.